Hey, Vivid Earth Tribe, how you all doing? I thought I'd send you a quick message today, the 4th of August. Um, it's pretty big times that we are in, but I think we all feel like it's a little bit too quiet. It's almost eerie what's happening. And so I thought I'd just come and put your minds at ease a little bit because a lot of us are not quite sure what's going on. But astrologically, we've just entered the Lion's Gate, which comes to its full essence on the 8th of August, the 8th of the 8th. And then we've got the full moon on the 13th. So it's astrologically, it's a very powerful time, sort of where things sort of get to a head, to a tipping point. There's a lot of energies around the world. The weather's been crazy. There's been so many floods around the world, and hurricanes, and tornadoes, and tsunamis, and wildfires. It's actually incredible. I think a lot of those are actually synthetically created, but it could also be the planetary energies that have just gone a little crazy right now. And but at the same time, while all this is going on and we can kind of feel the storm brewing, things are kind of eerily quiet. I think we were all waiting for big things, and now we're wondering, like, when is it all coming? When is it all going down? So I thought I'd just give you a few quick pointers to put your mind at ease, to make you relax. From what I know and what I've read and what I've felt intuitively is going on right now, I truly feel it's the calm before the storm. I do think things are going to start going down in quite a big way very soon. Um, I think that the time has got to be perfect. There's a big underground secret military operation going on as we speak. So it's a very, very complex process. And I think we're seeing a lot of like little movies playing off because let's face it, everyone that's watching this is already quite awake. But when we look around us, it's like 90% of people are still very fast asleep. They're starting to kind of be curious and wake up, but most of them are still fast asleep. They have no idea what's going on. And they will simply be too shocked if they were to be told right now what's going on. So they're trying to sort of play out little movies. When I say they, the Alliance, the Earth Alliance, the White Hats, so they can make it a little bit easier for the sleepers, and so they want to wake them up, and that's why you see a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. Some countries are pushing the mandates again, and the WHO is pushing monkeypox and all these stupid things that we just see going down, and the social credit system or social ID system that they want to implement now. And at the same time, we've obviously seen a lot of prime ministers and presidents step down, resigned, flee, get assassinated, and that's all part of that changeover now that's happening. Deals have been made in the background. Part of this is now little movies playing out. You saw the Pope went to Canada, apologized for to the Indigenous people for um, terrible things that have been happening on the clock of the Vatican. He's probably going to be arrested or indicted or charged very soon. Again, I truly feel this is part of the movie playing out, because if the whole world was just told today that the Vatican has done all these evil things and that the Pope is going to be arrested, people simply won't be able to take it. So disclosure has to happen slowly for the sleepers, not to shock them. So they slowly can start waking up and realize something is very wrong, and that they should also start asking questions of their governments and understand what's going on here. So that's my opinion on it. With the Lions Gate, it's also now a perfect time to start seeing systems collapsing. Governments and governmental systems collapsing, financial system. Um, the church, the Vatican, all these organized religions are starting to collapse, and leaders are stepping down or being taken out. And the truth is, we don't really need to be governed. To be quite honest, we don't need all these people telling us what to do. We're not kids. I truly believe in 5D New Earth. We will we will live very differently. We will have councils where we are making decisions collectively and for the betterment of the people, not just, with the intention to suppress them. Things like taxes, all of that's going to fall away. Jasara and Nasara. And I truly feel it in my bones. This is not just hopism or hopiism or whatever you want to call it. I truly feel it in my bones. Sometimes I really get this vision of what 5D New Earth is going to look like. And it's beautiful. It really, really is. And I think we're so traumatized by generations of traumatic experiences and just suffering and pain and the things that have been inflicted on us that we find it hard to believe. We think this is just life. We must just accept it and have fun while we still can. And that's the best that it's ever going to get. And I truly do not believe that. I've gathered enough information, and I've also meditated on it enough to know that there's a much better way of living, a very effortless way of living, where there is non-attachment and universal love and oneness. And I truly, truly believe this. And people get a little bit like uncomfortable when you speak about love because there's this cheesy kind of connotation that's been attached to love, like the romantic kind of connotation, and that's not what love is. Honestly, I think we need to almost invent a new word for it, but it really truly is just a state of being that is at peace and in harmony with all beings and nature and everything around us, and that reflects compassion, kindness, acceptance, non-attachment, and just incredible harmony. That's how I would sum it up. But it's most often called love, that universal love, the oneness. But yeah, we all deserve to live like that. And I think intuitively we can feel that is our true nature. So let's never give up on that, guys, because we have to now manifest this positive timeline. I know that a lot of people say it's already been done. We are on a positive timeline. It's been written in the stars, and it's happening. But I think for your own sake, you must still make sure that you manifest this timeline, that you manifest you in this timeline, because there may be a timeline split where those that are not ready to evolve and ascend will go into a different timeline, which is much more negative, transhumanism, all that stuff that we think we are heading for now. That's the negative timeline. There is a positive timeline, but you've got to be ready for it. You're not going to just be automatically get on that bus. You've got to do the inner work. You've got to practice that belief in the positive timeline. Believe, see, imagine, make it one with you. Truly, truly bring it into your being with all that you have. And that's really what's going to manifest that positive timeline for you. Because, from all the research that I've done and the wisdom that I've gathered, there's definitely many timelines out there. So it's all about what you're going to be identifying with, which timeline you want to manifest. There's parallel realities as we speak. And every moment of every day, you make that decision in which reality you will be manifesting yourself into. So we are powerful, powerful manifestors, but we don't believe that because we've been told we are very limited. We are evil sinners that have to just stay in our corner and beg for forgiveness, and someone will come and save us if we're good. And that's not the case. Nobody's going to come and save us. Maybe there are people that are rooting for us, that are supporting us, but the universal law of non-interference means that you have to do the work. You've got to do the inner work and raise your own vibration so that you can manifest a positive timeline yourself. Otherwise, the thing is, the reason it's like that is because otherwise we won't learn. We've got to stop this karmic process, in this karmic wheel that we're on. We've got to get to an evolutionary point in our lives where we say, enough, I'm going to ascend and I'm going to raise my vibrations. I'm going to operate in a love frequency. And that's when you get rid of the baggage of karma. Otherwise, evolution says she's still got a few lessons to learn. She better just come back in the next life and learn what she didn't manage to learn in this life. So I say, let's learn those lessons. Let's get onto the positive timeline bus and let's get into 5D ascension, new earth, because it's happening, whether we want to know it or not. It's just whether you're going to stay or go into an evolutionary state. That shift from 3D to 4D to 5D, I don't believe it's just going to happen by itself. You've got to make the conscious decision every day and every moment, whether you want to make that conscious shift or whether maybe you're not ready. You've still got attachments in the 3D world. So my advice is do the work, find the time. I know we're all busy, we've got lots of things to do, but you've got to find the time, because you're going to regret it if you don't. Honestly, it's the same thing that people say that have cancer. So if only I knew, if only I believed that I needed to change my life 10 years ago, if I know now what I knew, if I knew then what I know now, I would have made that decision in a snapshot, because nothing else, nothing is worth it. No career, no success, no car, no house, nothing. So don't let that decision point pass you by without consciously making that decision and making the effort. Like I said in my previous videos, you've got to get yourself fit, but not in the normal sense of the word. You've got to get yourself evolutionary fit. That's the only way you're going to be able to make it to 5D. And it's a process, not just like a light switch. Oh, the solar flare is coming and I don't have to do anything. I can just sit back and wait for the magic to happen. No, you've got to be in the right mindset. You've got to be on the right vibration to make that happen. So that's my advice to you. We got to learn things from scratch now. I feel like we really at the bottom of that learning curve, only just starting to learn what we're all about, what this world is all about, what Mother Earth is all about, and what the cosmos is all about. And we've got to unlearn all this stupid stuff that we've been told in schools and university, and relearn the magic of this cosmos. So be open-minded, because those old patterns and the old habits and the old programming, because the programming runs very deep. Even if today you consciously make the decision that you're going to be focusing on your own evolution, tomorrow, without even realizing it, just automatically you fall into that old pattern. I've seen it happen with me. So you've got to get super self-aware. You've got to catch yourself in those moments where you fall back into the old program. Say, oh, I'm noticing that. I've seen what happened there. I'm going to shift out of it. So it's little by little you shift yourself out of those old programs that we gathered since childhood. To be honest, it's not easy. I know it's not easy, but you gotta put in the effort, because nothing good in life, and that is one very true analogy. Nothing in life comes easily. You've got to exercise commitment. You've got to exercise self-discipline, and you've got to exercise staying power. The thing is, they've just put too many traps along the way, too many distractions, too many things that might pull you off your path. Whether, I don't know, they attract you with sexy girls in the movies, or whatever it is, with alcohol, feeling great when you have, so many drinks and you go out to a bar, or whether it is video games and temporarily makes you feel good, or it's drugs that takes you on a trip and makes you feel all powerful. Those are all tricks. Don't fall for the tricks, guys, because there's nothing that's going to help you with this but you. You've got to do the work. Nothing is going to help you get there. Not magic mushrooms, not some ayahuasca trip. Those things are helpful, but you can get attached to that. You've got to rather do it yourself. Learn to do it yourself, because then you're going to be invincible. So, and it is just meditation, doing things like Qigong, Tai Chi, yoga. All of those things will bring you closer to your real soul. And once you get close to the real you, that soul, that higher self is going to start speaking to you. And it's going to give you a lot of very, very powerful guidance and wisdom and knowing. And it's going to give you that armor that you need to get through the next chapter. I fully believe that. So what's happening now is also, and I think a lot of people also felt, we're going through like quantum shifts. It's like things are just changing, like literally by the day, by the hour. Sometimes I lose hours in the day and says, what happened to this day? It's just disappeared. I've lost time somewhere. So we are quantum shifting and moving forward. So the timelines are speeding up. The solar flare, yes, is coming, but we've got to be ready for it. Like I said, we must do the work. There are no shortcuts. There are no quick fixes. Really, there isn't. It's like getting fit for a marathon. There are no quick fixes, right? You can maybe pump some steroids or whatever, but it's only going to help you so much. You've got to do the work. You've got to practice. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to get up early in the morning, because that goal that you working for, that is so important to you. If it was easy to achieve, everyone would do it. Evolution is something that, unfortunately, it needs work, because if it was easy, as I said, you wouldn't learn the lessons, and humans would just fall back into the old traps of, I don't have to worry. The government will sort things out, and they'll do what I need to do, and there'll be a savior coming to save us. So we can just sit back and have a couple of drinks and play some video games, and everything will be fine. No. Discipline, commitment, perseverance, doing the work. But, in doing the work, you actually have to do less rather than more. Switch off your brain, get quiet, sit quietly, focus on meditation. I got a really good tip also the other day from somewhere, because I also struggle with meditation because my head's way too busy. But I got a great tip. So I've heard before that you have to focus on your breathing, but it hasn't really helped me. But what kind of brought that home for me was, you've got to think of your throat chakra while you're breathing. And for me, that was really powerful, because not only are you now focusing on your breathing, you're actually just focusing on this area here. And while you're focusing on this area, you're unable to think of other things. It's like, wow, that actually works. So go and try that. Go and sit still, sit straight up in a lotus if you can. Otherwise, just sit comfortably with your back straight, your head straight up. Don't sort of close off any of your chakras. And then take deep breaths in and out and focus on your throat chakra. Just think about it, put your focus there. And even if you just start with 5 minutes, I guarantee it's going to make a difference for you. Yeah, so I've spoken about disclosure. That's going to continue to happen. I think when the time is right, we will get the EBS with the big broadcast. That's definitely going to happen at some point. But I think right now they realize that unless they want absolute chaos on the street, disclosure's got to happen in little bits and pieces. Part of that disclosure process is obviously, the truthers. A lot of them have been given information, little bits of information to put out there, to slowly influence those that are already sort of waking up or awake. And those can influence their circle. So it's like slowly drip feeding And then also all the intuitives who have been noticing stuff going on without, necessarily doing the research, but just feeling it intuitively, maybe channeling the information or using some sort of psychic intuitive tool like tarot or astrology or something like that. So a lot of people have been getting information that way as well. So, we all heard about the apocalypse that supposedly is coming. But I don't believe that's going to be a big disaster. It will be a disaster for the evil cabal, but it won't be for us. But it is a major awakening of humanity. We're definitely ready for that. So please, I ask you nicely, do the work, work on that awakening, help those around you to awaken. It's sometimes very tough. When they're very deeply programmed, it's not possible. So at some point you've got to let it go, because there's something like free will, and if they make that decision that they're not going to wake up at this point, then they're going to come back and learn the lesson again, unfortunately, and they're going to continue on that karmic reincarnation path, and that's their destiny, and you can't interfere with that. You can try and influence them, but there's not much more that you can do than that. And believe me, I've tried. So yeah. Just a last note about manifestation. We are very, very powerful manifestors. We just don't realize it. In the future, when we live on 5D New Earth, we're going to be able to manifest in an instant. Manifestation is going to be easy. It's going to come naturally to us. But right now, we got to practice that manifestation. We truly got to believe what we want reality to become. So I'm asking all of you, because all of us manifesting this positive timeline will have a great effect on speeding up the timelines and us getting there quicker and more smoothly. So please keep that belief. Don't doubt. Just keep your eye on the prize and believe, feel it in your heart, and then imagine it, bring it into your thoughts, bring it into your heart, and manifest it. Don't doubt it. Don't think, oh gosh, maybe I took too much hopium, as they call it. I'm just going to be disappointed. Can't be. Focus on the prize, guys. We will manifest this thing if we do it together. So yeah, I can feel it in my bones. We're getting close, and it's going to be super exciting. So focus on the positive timeline and what you want to manifest. This beautiful new world and earth where we live in harmony with one another, where there is no lack, there's no scarcity, there's enough for everyone. We don't have to work like slaves. We don't have to pay 1,000 taxes. We can be free, we can be sovereign, and we can start operating at a much higher vibrational level where things are not as rudimentary and basic as they are now. We can really, really go far beyond that. It also means, a lot of people speak about feeling it with your heart, but I want to emphasize that you shouldn't overemphasize your emotions and your feelings, because you've got to try and stay a little bit objective, feeling in your heart, but don't get overly emotional. Don't get attached to feelings or people, because that again is attachment, and attachment is not going to help you. So feel it in your heart, but do not get overly emotionally attached to anything, even your partner. There's that old saying, if you love someone, let them go, something like that. But it's truly like that. If you love someone, there's no attachment there. You don't need them for anything. You love them because you love them, not for what you need, but just, pure and utter love, selfless love, unconditional love. So that's me for today. I think I've covered everything. Get ready for 1,000 years of peace, everyone. How exciting. I'm so glad we're living in this time. We're so ready for it after 2,000 years of horrible pain and suffering, literally. We don't realize how traumatized we are and how much trauma we carry from previous generation, intergenerational trauma. It's not even our trauma. It's incredible. So this kind of feeling of fight or flight has to go. We don't have to compete with one another. There is enough for everyone, and we can live in harmony and peace and love. So that's my vision of 5D Earth. I'm super excited. I hope you are too, and I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please like and share, and don't forget to make sure you are subscribed if you like this content. I promise to bring you some very interesting interviews very soon. So hang in there. I'll be back. Sending you lots of love.